Welcome to the uberPOOL training video. Thank you for once again helping move our city forward. As you know, Manila is known to suffer from some of the world's worst traffic, which is why Uber is launching uberPOOL. uberPOOL is a new service that lets you pick up and drop off multiple riders going in the same direction. This means you spend less time waiting and more time on trips. Starting soon, all riders who request an UberX ride will be given an option to choose uberPOOL and share their ride instead. With uberPOOL, we get to move the same number of people with less cars. This means you're not only earning more with trips, but you're also helping decongest Manila traffic. While UberX will still be available, uberPOOL will now be given as an option for requests with 2 or less riders who are willing to share their trip with others. Because they are sharing their ride, they will now be required to input a destination before booking and will no longer be able to change it over the course of a trip. For example, you get an uberPOOL request of someone going from point A to point B. It's possible that while you're on your way, you get another uberPOOL request in the middle of your trip of someone going from point X to point Y. So you pick up that second rider, drop off the first rider at point B, and the second rider at point Y. It's also possible to keep on accepting requests anywhere along the trip. Take note that the first rider picked up does not have to be the first one dropped off. You can even get paid for driving between different pickups, less waiting, more trips, and more earnings. So how do you accept uberPOOL requests? Starting soon, all vehicles on UberX will start receiving requests from both uberPOOL and UberX. Go online. You accept the uberPOOL request like any other trip. Then you make your way to your first rider. uberPOOL is only available for requests with 1 to 2 riders. Upon arrival, confirm the head count, and if there are more than 2 riders, politely ask them to book an UberX instead, then head towards your rider's destination. You will then be able to accept another pool request anytime within the trip. It can either be A, before you pick up the first rider, B, while you're waiting for the first rider, or C, you've already picked up the first rider and are driving towards the first rider's destination. Always accept an uberPOOL match request. Remember, the more riders that you get at a time, the more you get to earn. After accepting an uberPOOL request, that rider would automatically be added to your trip. Always follow the directions in Waze or the Uber application. To know the order of pickup and drop-off, tap the checklist icon on the upper right-hand corner of the screen. For uberPOOL, riders always need to be on time. If you're picking up another rider, we suggest that you wait 1 minute before calling the rider. If the rider is still not ready after 2 minutes or asked to be picked up at a different location, we suggest that you politely inform the rider that you will cancel their request. We do not want other uberPOOL riders to wait too long. Every time you drop off a rider, don't forget 2 things. First, rate them. Next, collect cash if the total fare shown is green. Remember, green means cash. With the launch of uberPOOL, you will get to have more riders, more trips, and more money. Since riders will be sharing their ride, uberPOOL will be 20% cheaper than UberX. The service fee will also be different for uberPOOL. If you get an uberPOOL request and your trip is not matched, meaning there is only 1 rider, the service fee will be 10%. If the uberPOOL request is matched, meaning multiple riders, or if you have 2 or more trips at the same time, the service fee for both trips will be 35%. Remember, you always get to earn more when your uberPOOL trips are matched, since you get to spend less time waiting and more time on multiple trips at the same time. Here are some sample computations. In a span of an hour, you can take either a matched or an unmatched trip. Since it's possible for you to get more trips with uberPOOL in the same amount of time, you always get to earn more. More trips means there are more chances to be a 5-star driver. Here are some very important uberPOOL pro tips. In uberPOOL, it's always important to communicate with your riders. Pro tip number 1. Always inform them if you have accepted a pool request from a second or third rider. It would be good for them to know that you'll be picking up someone else and that they may have to wait for a bit. You can say, "Sir or ma'am, I just received another uberPOOL request, and we're just going to pick up another rider at their designated location. We will wait for him or her no longer than 2 minutes and we'll be on our way." Pro tip number 2. Remember to always follow the order of drop-off in the application, since it automatically calculates the most convenient order for everyone. Always inform the riders who gets picked up and dropped off first. Remember that the rider you picked up first is not always the one dropped off first. As much as possible, do not decline an uberPOOL request just because your current rider forces you to. They should be aware that they chose the uberPOOL option and may share the ride. Also, you always make more money when you accept more uberPOOL trips. Do not allow riders to make multiple stops or change destination. It will be unfair for other riders to wait for too long. However, please remember that multiple stops are still allowed on UberX. Thank you for taking the time to complete this video. With uberPOOL, not only will you get more rides on continuous trips and more money in fares, but you're also helping solve the traffic problem in Metro Manila. Please make sure to complete the test and go to this website to learn more about uberPOOL.